I think what's amazing to me is how many people have badass ideas that could really punch it through and just make it happen, but they aren't willing to put in the work. I'm down here on vacation for like 10 days and I plan on working 5 to 7 hours every single day. A vacation to me is just a badass way to go work somewhere cooler. As you can see behind me, we got a pretty awesome view. Standing out here just smelling the ocean. Being from Wisconsin, we don't have this nice stuff. So, you know, put in work. I promise you that it's gonna pay off. Make sure you got a good idea, got some talent. But if you put in the work, you're gonna be sitting in, you know, a similar situation where you can pick where you're doing your daily's activities or your daily work. So.
You decide if you're gonna live or not. Am I just gonna get through life or am I gonna live? Because it's a fucking choice. I mean, you literally decide that. And some people decide it when they're 70 and it's too late.
Definition of a champion, no.
Hurt myself, Fuller. We went to Extreme Air and jumped on the trampolines, took the kiddos. I was there for 6 minutes and sustained a serious neck injury. Spent the remainder of the time limping around with one shoulder that didn't work. I think if you weren't 38, it probably is a good time.
Oh, you went yesterday, so you were 38.
Yeah.
Should have went on Saturday.
When I was 37 and a lot more nimble. So after jumping on 3 of the trampolines, I felt totally confident that I was ready to go. And I went and did a double bounce and tried to do a front flip into the foam pit. I didn't even make it to the actual flip part and I was already injured on the second bounce. It jammed my neck and it was pretty much game over. Then my son went and tried to do a flip and all he did was run really fast, forgot to jump, and just dove face first into the wall that protects the foam pit and jammed his neck. So there it was, father and son sitting there injured on the side of the foam pit. So I decided yesterday to say thank you to every single person that wished me happy birthday. That consumed a good part of my entire day. I said thank you to 251 people yesterday, by name. If they took the extra effort to add a comment, I commented back. Except for guys said happy birthday party like there's no fucking tomorrow. Like clearly you don't understand what 38 looks like. You don't party that you're 38, you get depressed and sit in the corner. Then you go out and try to do something young and end up hurt, sitting in the corner depressed and hurt. What you think, Fuller?
Those are the ones I told you to get.
Yeah. 19 by 8.5 up front, 19 by 9.5 in the rear, little staggered setups, some 235s and some 295s. Because that's so fucking awesome. I mean, you feel like you're right there building that truck with them. Right there, I'd give another clip of those lights in the dark. And I still wanted like 3 more minutes. And it's like, no, I love that. Gotta get ready for a meeting, boy. Anything else? Anything else going on today? Tomorrow's my last full day. Is there anything else you need through the rest of February? That's Brad's fault. That's why you don't rent your car out. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
This is our weekly meeting. Welcome to it. We're gonna try this speakerphone thing. There's gonna be a little crackling. You're gonna have to just get over that. So tell us what we're gonna do long term. Tell me 3 years from now what Fitment Inc. looks like. And then let's get into the next 90 days, and then let's get into this week. So the goal of this huddle is that we're all on the same page of what we're doing. Tim is rapidly taking over the entire world over here, so my free time is gonna go up as soon as I get back from this little vacation I'm taking. So I plan on spending a lot of time with you guys in March to get Fitment Inc. up and rocking. this guy saw the dream job on LinkedIn and then said that he would love to have a beer and hear my story someday, or lunch, or whatever. And I said, better yet, why don't you just come take a tour? But I think we're gonna end up going for lunch. I'll try to get out of that. I don't like leaving. I like to stay here once I'm here. Yeah, you want some free lunch as a camera guy? Todd, how's it going? Sean Chartier.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. As you probably already know, there's camera. I was following me, so. But I can start, from the beginning. I think you said you just kind of wanted to hear the story. So we had a place right up the road. It was the old pizza place. There's one garage door, and you drive in, and it's just an open space. And we moved from my garage to there. Because before that, I was at, so I was the VP of, but I knew I didn't want to go to meetings the rest of my life. I was in 11 hours of meetings and pretty much never made a decision. I would try to make decisions and get yelled at because I was overreaching.
This is a huge adjustment for you.
Yeah.
It's a big corporate world.
And before that, I was at for 6 years.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been big company. And then I went and sat in my garage one July 4th. I did it on Independence Day. So my cousin and I, you'll meet him later, it was he and I sitting in my garage in flip-flops and shorts running custom offsets. So I knew it was a huge risk. I'd paid off all of my debts except for house and one vehicle. So I knew that I could easily limp through 6 months. But at about 4 months, I better start looking for a job. We had about doubled by then in our first 90 days. Yeah, we at least doubled in 90 days. So I was seeing that if I keep putting the time for it, I should be able to keep doubling. So I'm growing about 300% a year.
Okay. When do you think that'll plateau, or do you think
it's never going to? And I'll show you why. That's my brother, Nick. So I snagged him about a year ago. My birthday was yesterday. I went to a trampoline park and I hurt my neck. So if you wonder why I'm walking like a robot. So this starts custom offsets. This is all our inventory. That's Ryan. He does all the shipping, receiving, inventory counts, reorders. He's really taken over the entire warehouse, start to finish. The rule here is you can make $100,000 a year. I can show you how. You just have to keep following the path to be the boss of the guy you used to be. And then that's my cousin John. He was the first one to quit his job, and he hung out with me in the garage. And now, same path. We said, you can make as much money as you humanly want. Let's just find out how. So this is the bullpen, as we used to call it, because there used to be a Lamborghini sitting here, but we ran out of room. So that door was designed so that I could drive my car in here and stare at it and know why I work so hard every day. Instead, it's down in Chicago for sale because we want to keep growing, and I'm kind of looking at a different car. What I had told people is when we moved into that pizza joint, I told John, I said, it's forever going to be just you and I. So it was the middle of February and it was 40 below. So we just cranked the heat up to 80 and we ordered in margaritas and taco bar. And we just sat around and we're like, this is what we're doing forever. But the problem I have is I last about 30 days that comfortable, max, maybe 3. John will probably tell you it's about an hour. And then I want more. And then I realized I need somebody to run HR because I don't want to manage any of that, payroll or any of that. So I stole Mandy. She was stopping in every 3 months and just saying what's going on. And I said, I'm gonna have to hire you someday. I need somebody to run the whole office. Yeah. So I went and snagged her and hired 3 more people that afternoon. And then we started going, and then I was like, this isn't too bad. It's not as bad as I thought having employees. Yes. And we hired some more of them and some more of them and some more of them until I needed a VP of operations. Because I was realizing that I was back to doing what I didn't want to do, which was managing people. I think we probably get 200 to 300 comments and messages a day across social media.
Which avenues?
All of them. All of them. So he knows him and he knows him and I know him and he knew him and I know him. It's almost all friends and family that work here. So when you say where's the plateau for the truck world is starting to creep up. So what we're doing now is we're launching the same thing we did for trucks for cars. We do about 900 gallery ads, so about 30 a day in the truck world after 3 years. They're hitting 30 a day on some days in the car world after 3 weeks. Kevin, I don't know what the fuck Kevin does.
I just hang out in the corner.
The corner office, right?
Yep. So he does graphic design. He also owns his own t-shirt company. So he's big into branding, big into social media. He's been playing with a lot of this stuff for like 5 years. So this is Fuller. That's where he sits when he's not pointing stuff at us. He does video marketing. We convinced him to give up on his dreams last week. He was going to be a police officer. We told him to quit that job and make videos full time. You give that shit up, you're gonna play golf. We're also gonna launch another business someday. We're gonna rent out vehicles. So luxury cars, lifted pickup trucks, side-by-sides, snowmobiles, all the cool shit that we wanna own anyways. So we're gonna have a building full of cool shit and he's gonna lead all of that. Junior was our first videographer. So he did a video of the delivery of our Lamborghini. My wife hired him to do it. I was so impressed. I told him, you're gonna give up Walmart and you're gonna come play golf. And this is Mario. Mario's our newest addition. We quit hiring after we hired Mario.
You almost said it you bought Mario.
God. Can't buy Mario. So that's Mandy. She's in charge of everybody. And then Charlie and Kirk. So they take the phone calls throughout the whole nation for all of our wheels and tires. I've got a ton of training and strategy in Hoshin Connery. I was able to implement it at and we crushed everything by 60–70%. I've been on 90-day blitzes in Holland and crushed everything by 60–70%. But it was always only when they were in trouble, because then they let you do what you want. So when I was leaving, they were in deep shit and they let me do whatever I want. And I was also leaving and they didn't know it. So I knew I could really be bold. I could actually tell CEOs what to do and stuff. And it was super successful again. So I knew if I was ever alone in my own business that it would be super successful because it worked every time I tried it. I could reverse engineer how we got here, but it's nothing but this. But it's doing it every day. People just don't realize.
Yeah, you have to stay focused on it.
Yep. At about 9:05, and you saw it in the video, I start yelling, bro media in 15 minutes, bro media in 6 minutes. And now if I'm not paying attention, these guys will start yelling it. Bro media in 17 minutes, yeah. Because you have to do it every day and you have to do it on time. And we have a super, I mean, there just are no rules here. Get your work done, you know, keep your post-its moving. It's not okay to not do it. But outside of that, these guys tell me to fuck off all the time, and if I'm wrong, they have to. And I said, when you're right, keep ignoring me. When you're right, you have to be willing to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Because I don't know half of what I need to know, let alone everything, you know. You probably have agendas and meetings and stuff.
Good old meetings, yes.
Good, I'll show you out, Todd. It's good to meet you, man.
Yeah, you as well.
Well, thank you much, sir. I appreciate you coming. It's good to meet you. Dude, it took me 4 tries to get these. Apparently the government, the FBI, and everybody's involved in when you want personalized plates now. You're a doozy today, Fuller. Got 10,000 things going on. Roll media, let's go. Junior, get your ass in here. Do anything fucking stupid, and remember, I'll fucking fly back here. Can't make any money on a beach. Well, you can, but you gotta get one of the metal detectors. You gotta fight the old guys. I'm on vacation this whole week down in Florida. We're in Clearwater Beach right now. Awesome place. My wife and I got married like right down there somewhere, one of those points, about 4 years ago. So we always said we wanted to come back on a regular basis. My grandparents kind of spent their last few years down here as well. I think they, from their whole retirement for like 15 years, were down here. So
It's always been an awesome place for us. This has probably been the most I've ever worked on vacation. Hadn't been able to take one for a couple years with all that we had going on, just launching custom offsets. But this one I said, you know, I'm gonna go for like 10 days, but it's gonna be kind of the new vacation, the new way of doing it for me, which is spending about 5 hours a day working. I usually work about 2 hours in the morning, an hour right in the middle of the day sometime if things get, you know, busy, and then a couple hours at night. And the whole concept is, you know, I get to go on vacations like this. I get to go to beautiful places like this to do work because of the work I'm willing to do. A lot of people ask, you know, should I just quit my job and start my own business? And the first thing I think is, no, you can't quit your job. You have to pay your bills. When I started Custom Offsets, we were basically working, you know, 18 to 20 hours a day at a full-time job at the hospital, as some of you might know, during the day, and then at night, this was my night hustle. I'd spend all night basically building custom offsets with Ben, and he and I would just go and go and go, and then we had John come on board. But it's always been non-stop work. It's never just sitting back and waiting for money to roll in or waiting for things to take off. This whole vacation has been pretty awesome because I know I've got a team back home of 16, 17 people that are going to keep the ship running, but they also still need help and direction and decisions made, and it's not okay for me to just vanish for a couple of weeks and hope that all of our customers' needs are met and that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's been one of those that's been a long time coming as far as a 10-day vacation and spending some time in Florida. And quite honestly, while sitting down here, my wife and I have been talking, and our hope is that we can come down here for 4 or 5 weeks next year, you know, throughout the winter. Neither of us really like the cold Wisconsin weather. We belong down here, but I've got my son up in Appleton, Wisconsin, so it's not an option for me to just up and move to Florida. So I've got to find a way to meet both needs. But because of the hard work that we've put in and the fact that we've done the 18, 20-hour days, we're now starting to be able to take and work from different locations. But you know, it's one of those things where it's not go out and get wasted and accomplish nothing for a couple of weeks. A vacation for us is just an opportunity to go work somewhere warmer. My wife helps out and does a lot of the meat stuff and is running the new Custom Offsets meat page and the Team Stance meat page and the Fitment Inc. meats page where people can put meats in shows on our website. And you know, she's been down here working the whole time too and working back and forth with the team. So it's been a lot of fun. We go home in like 2 days, so about wrapping it up. I usually don't want to make videos like this. I'm not a big selfie guy, but Fuller didn't fit in my suitcase. It was close. He almost made her, but he didn't, so I wasn't able to bring him with. So we had to do our first selfie video. I begged him to not make me do this, but he said that you guys would appreciate it and appreciate hearing what we've been doing down here. So we've been down here visiting some family and hanging out, spending some time. Like I said, this is about our 4-year anniversary where my wife and I got married down in Clearwater. So we're actually staying in the same room as our wedding night. So it's a cool thing to be able to come down here and be able to afford the time and afford the trip to come down here. But it comes because of a lot of work. But when you're doing something that you really love doing, like I've chosen, you know, with custom wheels has been my passion my whole life. I've had them on every vehicle from day one. It's a lot easier to then come down here and spend the time working because it's doing stuff that you love doing anyways. But it isn't easy, and it isn't free, but it's definitely, it's easy to be passionate about it and spend the time when it's something that you enjoy. So just thought I'd share what we've been up to down here. Fuller, thanks for making me do this, you jerk. But hopefully you can use some of this content and kind of let people know what we've been up to. So I'll flip the camera around and give you some footage. This is the view from our room tonight.
So much weight that you'll probably never believe it. I fade, I fall, stand tall. Some dream of greatness while others stay awake to achieve it. I do this without no excuses. just love winning less than I hate losing. Improving the reign through my era. So even if I die for centuries through history, I'm alive. Right?